Thanks very much, Chandra and Mr. Babu. Thanks very much for joining us at Rising Bharat's regional edition in Bengaluru. Chandra, of course, began by talking about Bengaluru and said that as an innovation hub, and she said that Hyderabad will have something to say about that. Well, you are the right man to respond on behalf of Hyderabad. So let me begin by asking you, sir, that if you compare, say, Bengaluru or Hyderabad, now Bengaluru remains the leader in terms of the absolute number of GCCs because of its lineage and its legacy. But in the last couple of years, the most number of new GCCs have been commissioned in Hyderabad, over 80 if I'm not wrong. So if you can tell us, so Hyderabad is getting more GCCs than anybody else compared to other cities. So has this transformation been by design? And what is your vision for Hyderabad for the next 5 years?
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. In fact, it's a great pleasure to be here in Bangalore. In fact, that too, the South Indian state, my colleagues are all over here. And I would like to thank Moneycontrol and the News 18 to make everybody bring to a platform, a single platform. I can see a lot many, investor friends over here, a lot many stakeholders over here who are very keen to know about Hyderabad and state of Telangana. In fact, when you mentioned about how and why of late many global capability centers are centered around Hyderabad, I would like to mention it's not been done in a decade's time. Over a period of 2 to 3 decades, the trust, the faith that we created among the companies overboard. And as you rightly told, the legacy of Karnataka, and especially the Bangalore, always leads in front. And we see Karnataka, especially the Bangalore, as our healthy competitor. We take the nuances and the best experiences and the best things what we can really imbibe from Karnataka, especially the Bangalore. And over a period of time, we could able to raise ourselves to the next level. For example, when we talk about infrastructure, when we talk about the resources, when we talk about innovation, and we talk about the government planning, these are all the 3 or 4 key areas where we take it very seriously, very piously, and to move forward. Every state has enough resources at their end. Like every state can provide land, any state can provide power, any can provide, the incentives or the subsidies, because we are in the rat race.
You were saying when we were coming outside that investors come like walking in a shopping mall and they compare different states. And so what are the discounts that you offer, sir, to investors?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I just compare, with all due respects to the investors coming to different states in the world. They would like to see what is the best for them. Like we go to the shopping mall, we just try to select the best quality shirt for me at the best reasonable price, and which should look fashionable too. All right? And all these things take shape, in the customer's mind while doing shopping, right? We cross so many shops across in the super mall, and ultimately we end taking one in one shop, depending upon our priorities and our necessities. That's what happens. Most of the investors goes to different states, sees the advantage what they can get from. For example, if they find the talent available over there, if they find the land which is available right now over there, and if they see the city or the state has the proper infrastructure, either it may be the physical infrastructure or it may be a digital infrastructure, what they want, for their own sector or their company. These are all things where they will weigh and end up in taking a conclusive statement to put their shops. So this is where what we look at. So when it has come, and over the past 2 to 3 years, we just placed our emphasis on talent creation. We have put all the emphasis on how the available talent can be curated to the global world, whether it may be the reskilling and upskilling the skill strength.
So what is the comparative advantage that Hyderabad brings in for investors compared to, say, Bengaluru or Chennai for that matter, or Telangana versus a Maharashtra or a Karnataka? And you're not just competing with them, you're also competing with Vietnam and other places globally. So what is it that you tell investors? What is the extra edge that you think Hyderabad provides, or what's your pitch to investors?
Yes, absolutely. It's not about Bangalore, or it's not about Mumbai or Pune or Noida from the north, but we are also have an equal competition between the other countries, the small countries, where the technology is leading its pace. So when it comes, why somebody has to select Telangana or Hyderabad? We have the best of the infrastructure. If you see the seed which we laid about exactly 20 years back, with a $2 billion investment, although it was high capital intense project like Outer Ring Road. You know, we faced, I was in the government too. We faced so much of criticism why $2 billion investment is being made for Outer Ring Road. It doesn't fetch that sort of a return back. Now, if you see the results and the dividends which we see right now, in terms of that physical infrastructure of building Outer Ring Road, which can connect to each and every part of Hyderabad in a matter of 40 to 50 minutes. This is a beautiful facility. And the first ever private airport, privately built on the PPP model, on the international scale, the airport, the ORR, or the creation of the high-tech city. They're all made us, more, solid, strengthened over a period of these 20 years. And we haven't left that space out, not only creating the physical infrastructure, we have built the digital infrastructure. If you see Telangana right now, our optical fiber is connected to the remotest part of the village. Any company can put their office. For example, I hail from a very remote area. They can put their software company over there.
You're a five-time MLA from Manthani.
Yes, with the blessings of my people over there from Manthani have been done. The optical fiber cable is been laid to the last mile. So you, Ms. Mehta, can keep a company over there where networking is not at all a problem. A network is not a problem. And I also see that the talent is also available. So this is the main reason. And at the same time, this physical and the digital infrastructure, what we placed, and also the talent available according to the need of today, especially in the cutting edge technologies which are shaping up to. Either it may be AI or cyber security or data analytics. The skill is available right now over here. And if you see, not only specific core engineering disciplines, the GCCs have come. More 10 to 11 verticals of the industries, GCCs have come over here.
So which are the main sort of industries which are investing in Hyderabad in terms of GCCs, and which sectors are you seeing the most investments in?
Apart from, if I see, I could, on this platform, I'd like to mention and out of it, 26% of the GCCs are to the main core software industry. And few are from aerospace, few are from the defense, few are from the hospitality industry, and few are from, the pharma industry which have an existence. And one more addition where no other state has, the beauty tech industry, the first ever, have put their own GCCs like L'Oreal, which is supposed to be a multinational beauty tech industry captain, has put the GCC over here. So you just see, it's not only about the talent, about the innovation, what it takes place. It's the future. What we do over there, the technology is available over here, the expertise is available over there, and when the technical expertise can combine with their, basic industrial expertise that goes. If you see the financial uh, centers which have come, the banking, core financial, insurance sectors which
Is
have come.
BFSI growing in Hyderabad?
Yes, the BFSI sector is growing at a rapid speed. So these are all sectors where we are trying to put it across. When any company comes to us, we will tell them, these are the expertise what we have and how we are creating them.
How long do companies take to get clearance in Hyderabad?
Ease of doing business is supposed to be number one, when you compare with all other states. In a matter of 21 days, we give all the permissions and all the licenses required for any industry, not only for the GCCs, for any industry. And if they don't get a proper, clearance directly, it's a deemed clearance that is supposed to be in our ease of doing business.
Right.
So that we are trying to put it across, and we have been labeled many a time by Niti Aayog also. We are the forerunners in doing and making things at ease.
So,
In
Mr.
terms
Babu,
of
one
ease
of the
doing.
things that we hear from companies also is that when they look at the tangible, so they also look at the intangible. They look at things like nightlife. They look at things like law and order.
Yeah.
They look at things like how safe is it for women, because they'll also get an international workforce and all of those things. So, A, is that what you hear from companies? And B, this very unfortunate incident which has happened of the assault on the young lady a couple of days back in Hyderabad, how does that impact sentiment, A, and what will you do about some things like that?
Absolutely, you are right. And many people, many companies, and many employees, who would be coming from all over the globe, would like to see all these things. First, security in terms of law and order. And second thing is the quality of life. And thirdly, what they look is, how they are placed, in midst of the social tranquility. So in terms of the law and order, we are supposed to be maintaining that standards where each and every individual, either it may be their privacy or it may be in terms of the security or being safeguarded. As rightly told, 1 million, CCTV cameras are put all through the city. That is one measure what we have taken. And second thing is our police.
In terms of addressing issues when incidents like this happen?
Yes. In terms of addressing it is also we take stern action and try to put the law and order in a very firm and tight condition. And thirdly, when it comes to nightlife and all other social living conditions, we are equally amenable. But we take all the measures too. For example, we and our Chief Minister, our government vision is to see that it's a drug-free state. So keeping all those things into picture.
So let me ask you a broader question then. One is we've been focusing on what the state is doing and the state's competitive advantage. But there's also another player here, which is the central government, right? So you also have to work in tandem with that. So when you deal with the central government on investments and things like that, what are the challenges that you see there? And what are the kinds of changes you would expect from the central government or support from the central government that you're looking for? Are you getting the support that you need, or do you want more?
In this federal polity, and especially all states require assistance from the central government. There are so many schemes, so many programs by the central government which tries to drive all the states to move forward. And that's how the rising Bharat, as you takes place. Sometimes what we literally face is the stepmotherly treatment of some central government policies, what we face a wrath with, our people are literally facing. For example, if I can quote, we have an Indian Semiconductors Mission, ISM mission, wherein we would like to take the advantage. Either it may be, this state of Karnataka, or my state of Telangana, or it may be Tamil Nadu, or it may be Kerala, or it may be the Pondicherry. These are the states which have solid skill you know, we have, all these states have the capability of building a chip, manufacturing a chip, which we are competent enough. We have all the design companies. For example, Hyderabad owes all the top 5 design companies over there. We design basically for the chip. And when any chip manufacturing comes down to us, and the same application is being processed for the central government to be considered under the ISM. When it is not being considered, the apathy of the central government, is ultimately affecting our Telangana people and our Telangana software professionals and our Hyderabad designers who does the chip design for not only for India, many companies outside abroad. So when we are not considered, when any company who comes forward to put their manufacturing here, it is not being considered by ISM. That gives lots of heartburn for us. So we appeal to the central government many a time. You have to give all the positive encouragement to the states like Telangana. And also, I would like to say this state and other states which have the capability to build the chip. When it is not been done, I'm not disputing whether if some state is being selected, let central government give the encouragement for those states too to build up the capacities and make them compete with all other states. And this is how the Rising Bharat or tomorrow's 2047, what the central government is trying to build, it will happen. Until unless they take it in a right and equitable manner, you can't make Rising Bharat.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Babu has also been a top-class cricketer. He's played for Nizam College and for the University of Hyderabad. He's clearly batting on the front foot here on the central government issue as well. So, sir, when you have issues with the central government, do you take it up with them? What is their response when you raise these issues with the central
government? Yes, many a time, we take up these issues with the senior colleagues at the union government, and they do the pep talk that next time we would like to literally see and do what best we can. We always, live our lives in hope. So in terms of the hope, hopefully in ISM 2.0, we will be getting our due share. So this is my hope, and we would like to really convince the central government too. And they would really understand the real issues, what a real competent IT state and the employees or our people can make it happen. How they would like to really understand and put it across is most important. Then we will, time and again, we will put our pressure, we will put our thinking, and we will put all the, answers what has been required before them to get a chip manufacturing here, back in Hyderabad, back in Telangana.
Last question, so we're running out of time. Hyderabad, of course, is a technology hub. You have a lot of greenfield projects coming in, but other cities have other catchment areas as well. Do you have plans to expand beyond Hyderabad for investments and creating other hubs in the state?
Yes, right question. Telangana is a very small state, and Hyderabad is the focal point. So we are also on the lines of building tier 2, tier 3 cities. I just mentioned about the digital infrastructure, which we have extended to tier 2, tier 3, and the smaller villages too. That is being done, and the talent is rightly available over here. And we are encouraging many, investors or companies to come put their GCCs over here and try to move forward. And we are trying to evolve a policy in terms of incentives and subsidies to come and put the shops in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And one more point I would like to mention. Over here, and India has to literally look forward. Over a period of time, we have been the back offices for many multinational corporations. And, it's like in the older times, you export Dow and get back the bread at a higher cost. That is what we have been doing in terms of IT too. Now, this is the time when technology is taking a new turn, and Hyderabad and the state of Telangana is literally thinking that all these capability centers should become the value centers.
So one quick question, sir. With data centers, there are a lot of concerns about the environmental costs as well, right? Around water, cost of electricity and all of that. So how would you address those concerns around sustainability? Because you are a big growth center.
Yep. So, the new technologies that require the data centers, especially for the AI, the processing speed, which all the companies counts upon. The two important guzzlers, as you know, the water and the power.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we are trying to put it across, and we will like to, because we have enough power, we have enough water, we will try to give them whatever they require and move forward. And this is all what we require. We are trying to put all the infrastructure in place to see that, the data centers comes into our place so that the AI-based companies are stationed in Hyderabad and move forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Mr. Sridhar Babu for talking the talk on Hyderabad. Thank you.